welcome back. This is part 4, I believe, of our December daily. I'm Lolly, and we are progressing along. I have this day here that I want to work on. This is such a pretty, like a collage look, and I think I want to preserve it while making a pocket on there. So what I think I will do is use some of my clear film here, or acetate. It says the acetate alternative. I've been using this for a while, and I love the quality of it. And I will look. That's plenty tall. So let me get a measurement on this to see. This is just a little over 3. So I'm going to make it 3 by 6 and, excuse me, by 5 1/4. And so that is that. But what I want to do is, you know how when you use a tape runner, you end up seeing the tape runner around it. So one of the things we could do, I know it's a lot of glare, one of the things we can do is then put trim around there to cover that up so you don't really see that. Or we could make a little frame, and I'm not opposed to either one, but I think I will make the little frame first and do that. So let's just pick a color, and it doesn't really matter, but I think that I want to pull this green in there. It might be a little intense, but since we're just only making a tiny little frame, I think we'll be okay. So what I think I'll do is right on the back of this, I will draw my lines and cut it out with a razor, or I could see if I have a die that I can cut out the center. Okay, so I did that, and I have this, which is kind of an unusual shape, but I'm going to do this and offset it, or I could, the other thing I could do is to put it back through the die machine and put the die right there and see if I can line it up perfectly and get that cut out. Okay, so let me move this. Actually, I'm going to look on the back side because I can see where the cut line is. And I have this purple tape which will help me get it all secured. I think I'll move it in a little bit to make room for the holes in the book. Okay, I'll give this a shot. Okay, not bad. That's pretty good. Now I realize I'm going to have a problem right here because I have that. Pretty cool. Okay, let me get some tape. Okay, so now all I need to do is get that on there. And I realize if I go and do this corner there, like I did it up there, it will cut off my frame. So I might just leave it and then cover the corner on this side. So all I need to do now is to tape the sides. Now, I don't usually tape pockets. I know I preach against it all the time. But in this case, there really isn't any way around it. So we're going to tape the 2 sides and the bottom. I have used glossy accents to tape acetate pockets before, and it does come undone eventually. So just thought you'd want to know that. Now, if you have any packaging material in the house that you're getting ready to recycle, that you can take the window off of that, you could use that for a pocket as well. I am going to have to put something back here because I have this adhesive, so it's going to have an issue. It's going to have an issue sticking to things. I could either put baby powder on that, or I can cover that side now. So I see that my, yes, my next one will be pink. So I think what I'll do is go ahead and plan ahead that I might put this on there. Okay. That, or I might just temporarily stick it here so it doesn't keep sticking to everything. And I have this, so obviously my colors are kind of a gold and green going on here. The other thing is, just because this is a pocket, you see that? Doesn't mean that I can't put an embellishment on the outside. Let me go ahead and punch this one. You can see why I carried the frame further out there, was to give myself room for those holes. So I was saying that you could put an embellishment on here even though you've got that pocket. So for instance, I've been using the poinsettia stickers, and you could see by putting one right there how pretty that is. And that all depends on if you want to bring in some red into the image. Now I also have many pieces of ephemera from prior year December dailies. They're all different sorts and varieties from different kits. So I have this green bell. I have the red candy. I like this because it's just a little bit of red, or even that. I like that a lot. Some of these, the red is a little too bright for me for this project, because I do mix colors a lot, but I'm pretty particular about the red. It's either got to be all of the darker vintagey red like this, or all of the brighter red. And this is kind of in between. Here's some things that have the more vintagey red in them. And I got these from Tuesday Morning last year. This is gorgeous, and it goes with my color scheme, but it is just too big for what I want. However, I could put it in there as a journaling spot. That's a thought. The wreath is gorgeous. This would be great on maybe the other side. Ooh, ideas, ideas. Oh, I love these tags. Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas. You get that center thing punched out there. I love that. Festive Celebration. This is gorgeous. Going to be in a corner somewhere. These are wonderful. I think these kind of line up with what I've got going on. These will make great tags in the pockets. So many beautiful pieces. I'm glad I went and looked at my stash again, because these are going to work out great. Okay, I'm going to set these. This is also another bag with leftovers. One of the things I might be able to do would be to color the berries darker, and I don't even know that it will work. Okay, and this is Copic marker R39. I just gave that a little bit of darkness there, right where I needed it. Okay, so that's going to go there, and I'm going to have to use a bit of tape. Glue dots would also work, duh. I could just do that. And also I have a tape runner I could use. So let's do this. I've got it handy. The reason I use double-sided tape around there is because it's the one that's skinny enough to get around there. Okay, this one is a Tombow. There. Okay, so now I've got a cute little decoration outside the pocket and things inside the pocket. I love that I can see what's going on behind the pocket. And I'm never completely done in that I can always go and I could embellish around here if I wished. So lots of options. And now let's look at this. I have a thought. This would make a charming pocket in itself, because, and I could put acetate behind here. That would work. To make a pocket, I would need to get a pocket. Let's see. I think a 3-inch circle would probably work. And one thing I can do is to just sort of trace around here without worrying too much. This is like a waxy pencil here. I'm just going to draw a crazy little thing right there. The only difficulty about making this a pocket is that the edge of the the acetate will catch when I go to put things in the pocket. So I realize that's going to be an issue, but I really want to do this. Okay, so there's that. And I happen to have glue dots. Let's use the Strong Bond. I have Strong Bond and removes easily. Let's use the Strong Bond. There we go. Now that's just to get the acetate on there, but I'm realizing this is really going to give me a problem, like I said, when I go to load something in the pocket. So I think this top edge needs a little more help. So I think what I'll do, since this is the back side of it, I'm just going to give this a good piece of tape right across the top. It will seal that edge there so that this is the edge I'm going to be loading my pocket with. Okay, so that will go there. That will go there. But the card to me is still pretty bland. I just glued a couple things on there. It doesn't match the color intensity of this. So there's a few options there. And let's see what I have. I could always put another border strip here. I could do something across the bottom. I can put a mat, so to speak, right through the middle there. It doesn't have to like fill the whole card. It could be just like this. But see, it just breaks up the white. There you go. Perfect. I think I'll do it. Now, another thing I could do, is make this a side loading pocket like that. Okay, I have to think through this. So I'm going to glue these three sides, not the side my hand is holding. I'm going to try and sort of center this left and right. Okay, so now we have, that's a side loading pocket. I tend to put these things together and forget what's pockets and what are not pockets at the end. And then when I'm going through a flip through of the whole thing, I have to think, is that a pocket? Okay, so now when I mount this, the tape needs to go up. It's going to go here, but I'm going to leave the top open. And I need to be careful to only do the inner aspects, and I can put the outer aspect down on here. So this is tricky, okay? I'm not going to glue this, and on this side, I'm not going to glue the outside. I'm putting my hand there, hopefully to remind me of, what gets taped and what doesn't. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see if that worked. So let's use this. I have a pocket here. Yes, I do. And I have a pocket there. Oh, perfect. Okay. Now, while we have that, I saw some tags in here. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas can go in there if we want, like that. Doesn't have to be that. I'm just putting it in there to remind myself later on that that is a pocket. Could use the candy cane. It's not quite, it's kind of cute. Could do both. And then I have that pocket there, and I'm thinking a journaling card would be great, and I do have journaling cards that I have made that I can put in there. In the meantime, I could just do something like that. Look at that. Ta-da! I'm really happy with that. Okay, so you can see how adding that gray strip there really made that come alive. I wasn't too sure I liked it to, you know, the white card. So, and that's just all made from ephemera pieces that I got really cheap. Okay, so that's the next page. Flippy. This is what we're working on now. So let me pull this over because I know I need to cover this sticky corner right here. But before I do, I'm noticing not only is there pink, but there's some green accents here. And I had an idea. So you know how I was making my own hole reinforcers. But I do have this. So I am wanting to see if this would work. This tree. Okay, let's just try it first. I'm thinking though, because of the shape, oh yeah, it works great. And I could put them on this side if I want. Speaking of which, I should get those holes punched. I could put green trees on both sides like this. You know, here and here. And that really helps to connect the two pages together. When I first thought about these hole punches that I have, the tree, I remembered in my mind that I had them, but I was thinking they might be a little too big and that I may have to turn them sideways or something in order to get them to fit. But they're working just great. All right, now I have the pink pocket to cover up that little sticky right there. But I'm thinking about something else, and that's these stars. Let me look and see if I have a star die cut. Okay, so I have these that I had gotten from scrapbook.com a while ago. And I'm wondering, I like these that they're gold on the outside, gold sparkly, and they're kind of white on the inside. I wonder if I can replicate that using these on this side. I might not have any room. In that case, instead of making this pocket, I could just put a pink strip here, or even some lace, something to cover that sticky. Well, but I have this green here, so I do need to cover it up with something solid. So I'll have to think through that and look through my papers. I know I recently bought some gold and silver papers. Okay, I have this scrap. Now, I do have more. I bought glitter paper for this project and I can't find it. So I actually have this one too. I want to see how big of a star I can go. That's a good one right there. So this would be a gold, and then I'll cut out something for the center. There's that. See, it's too much gold for me. That's why I really want to come back in and cut out another piece to go inside there. I could just use this to remove the center of the gold, leaving a white center. I do like this as well, and I also have some blush pink that came in a paper pad that seems to match that pretty well. So I think the blush pink would be better on this page than this. I think this is too bright. So I'll use this for my pocket, maybe, and this for the center of the star. Oh, these are perfect. Oops, sorry. Now I can perfectly center that like this, or I can off-center it and just kind of suspend them both from like a tag sort of thing. That would be good. That could be a tag right there. Let's get a pocket going here. It can't be too tall or it will interfere with my trees. I could do the angle. That would work. And one tip with these wafer thin dies, if you ever felt like you're trying to pull them off of the cardboard, they are glued on there really well, and you're trying to pull them off and you feel like they're going to break, I turn the whole thing upside down like this, and I peel the paper off of them while holding the dies flat, and then peel the tape off, and it seems to help me. Okay, so if I put this at an angle, then this could be a pocket item right inside there. Okay, so I think I will do it at an angle. So I want it to go, let's see, it's the right width. I just need to figure out. Some of you have asked what's the difference between why I have a guillotine trimmer instead of just a regular paper trimmer. And that is just because this one is sitting on my desk and it's easy to work with. That's it. I do have another trimmer that's off camera. I think I've estimated this correctly, but if I haven't, I can use this elsewhere in my project. That looks good. Could also like off-center and add a little more interest doing this. You know what I'm saying? That would be really cute too. And I still want this pocket here. And that still works like that. And the fact that this pocket is short means it's really easy to see my stars now. I'm not going to line the tips all the way up. I'm going to pull it down a little bit like that. Put a hole in there. I think I will put an eyelet in there. Let's see, this is set for the biggie, so turn this to C. 3. And I think I'm going to use a white eyelet. I thought I saw white in here, but apparently not. That's in my other stash. So I can use a bright yellow. Okay. Now technically, especially if I hadn't squeezed that too tightly, I could spin this around, see? But I squeezed it really hard, so it's not going to do any spinning for me. Okay, so we are... I need something because, you know, I don't like these bare pockets. And I'm wondering about using this gold again to really bring some of the gold in there. I also have another one, which is this. It's a nice flat one. It looks like it's a little too busy for me. And I have this, which is white and just gold dots. I think I'm going to go with the thin braid here. And although I try not to be too wasteful, I do bring the end off the edge of my card because it's usually frayed. And I need to snip off the very, very end. And I want to get these stickers involved here. These are in my shop. They're called glitter dots. One of the beauties of these stickers is that normally if you like the look of rhinestones, but you don't want the depth or the thickness that they add to your project, is that these don't interfere with the thickness of your project because they're just thin stickers with the look of rhinestones. Okay, so that fits right down in there. And we have this page here. And I don't have to do anything to this necessarily. I have to keep in mind that I need room for photos, journaling, etc. And I don't want every page to be extremely busy. So now when I turn this one over, I have this. And I have to figure out which page will look good with this. And so I love the red ornaments. I might want to pull in some red paper to go with that. And if that's the case, let's pick something that's got a lot of red. Let's do that one. I love that door. Okay, so this will be the opposite side. And I want to look at my border punches. I want to do a border on this pocket. And I like, if I'm going to layer these, I like the outside one to be more of a sturdy edge instead of something very delicate like this. Because as I put things into the pocket, I want it to be nice and sturdy. Now this still has the branding strip on that paper, but it's going to be okay because that's going to be the side that's down. Another thing about edging your projects is if you have the gold markers, they do really a good job of giving yourself a nice border interest. Okay, so let's bring in this. Now this is bigger than what I need it to be, so, and we'll save that. Okay, so I only need this to be 6 inches tall, but I want to try and center it so that my scallops look good. Let's see if I went right between those. So that will be right here. You can see what I mean about not being too delicate. So as I put things into the pocket, they will look really, I mean, I won't worry about it cutting that so much. And this is why I don't like to glue my pockets down right away. So I tend to think about my edging as having 3 layers. This is 1, that's 2. I want another one. Remember that little tiny strip that I got off of this paper here? Look at that right there. That works, or I could also do a different edge going the other way, but I don't really want to cover up these ornaments. I could put some more of that gold right there where the 2 papers meet, and that's just gorgeous. So many options, but I think that I will go ahead and put this down. Actually, I can glue this now. Very good. You see how that just kind of came alive there by adding that one little strip of paper? Now I have several different layers going on there, and I still have, that is a pocket right there. Very gorgeous. Okay, so these are the 2 pages. I need to determine what I want to do, if anything, to the one on the right. Sometimes less is more. And if you really love everything you're seeing here, you might not want to embellish it too much anyway. And I'm seeing so much of the green from here that I want to, from the hole reinforcers on the other side. I want to fix that up. Oh, let me go ahead and punch this so I know where those holes are going. Oh boy, such a, you know what would be really cute? Would be a 3D wreath to put on the door. That would be adorable. I don't have anything that's not super thick, so that won't help me. I could incorporate the idea of presents on the floor. That would be really cute. I don't know that I have anything specific to presents in my ephemera. However, something like that might be really cute. Okay. Could also stick with something of the star idea, bringing those stars over here somehow in the night sky. I think what I'll do for one is to grab that scrap there and punch out. And then I want white. Could put white in the center with a smaller heart star like that, and just use that as an embellishment somewhere, or on top of one of these trees. That would work. I don't like how bright green this is, but the dark green from the other one will help. I had another thought here. There we go. That little pop of red makes me happy. Because just enough of a 3D to make that really come alive without making it too gaudy. Now, I have a thought about this one. I just feel like it needs something really tiny across here, and I do mean tiny. So what I thought I would do, and I'm not even sure I'm going to like it, would be to add a tiny little strip, really tiny, like this. I needed to break up how white that is. It's driving me crazy. Alrighty, that helped that to pop up a little bit better. Okay, let's look at the time. Okay, we are going to have to pause here and resume on our next in the series. Until then, we'll just keep gathering all your embellishments and ephemera and see what works for your journal.